I was wrong when it came to utilizing the 30 amp charging cord and also utilizing the inverter at the same time. On my initial review, I ended up charging at 30 amps with this cable, but I couldn't get the inverter to come on, so I did talk to the rep and he said to try it again, which I did, and lo and behold, well, now it works. So actually, you can officially say this is the first small portable power station that you can charge with 30 amps AC and also utilize the 30 amp out and have it actually work correctly. No other power station can do that. They all are limited to the 15 amp cord. So this is something that's pretty much a game changer, if you want to say that, because no other power station can do it. So I took some test footage, that way you guys can see how this works, because it does go into AC pass through. So if you do happen to buy one of these and you're kind of wondering how it works, take a look at the footage. We'll talk about it a little bit and then we'll come back and close out. Okay, so this is going to be our test generator. I have the 30 amp cord from the Pecron unit plugged in, and right now there's no load on the Pecron unit. I'm just charging it, so you can see about 3,000 watts are going in. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on the AC unit inside of my RV. So you can see it's on cool low, about 77 degrees in the room. Okay, so I have the trailer, that's this cable right here. This is the trailer cable, so plugged in 30 amp. That's solar charging going into the Pecron unit, and you can see about 105 watts coming in, and then about 1,400 watts going into the trailer, and that's the AC unit. And you can see that the battery is orange in color, which means it's charging. And then you can see our runtime says about an hour and 40 minutes until this thing dies or it's out of juice. Alright, so now we'll hook up the generator. We'll go ahead and start this, turn it on. Now I am running this on propane, so we aren't going to get 3,500 watts out of this. It's about 3,150 rated on propane. Let that warm up for just a minute. Now one thing you do want to do is on the Pecron app, put your charging at 10%. This way you're not overloading the generator as soon as you plug it in. So go ahead and click confirm. And now we can put the 30 amp charging cord in. And now let's take a look at the Pecron unit. Now you'll see the numbers start changing. And there we go. So now we have 1,500 watts coming into the Pecron unit. Now up to 2,000 as it settles. And if we take a look at the out, about 1,400 watts. So 2,000 watts coming in, but 1,400 watts is going out. Now the thing is that the AC is actually being ran from the generator. The generator is doing all the work right now because it's in pass-through. Now obviously it would be more ideal to have more solar charging this, but you can see 2,000 watts going in, 1,400 watts going out from the generator. The rest of it again is charging up this main unit. So we're going to go ahead and bump this up to 30%, and then you'll see this change. Click confirm, and now look. So now we have 2,500 watts going into the unit, but still only 1,400 that is going out to the air conditioner in the RV. The rest of it is charging up the Pecron unit. So you can see 44 minutes left until this is charged up. But what's cool is that you can still run more load. So even though this is going to be charged in 44 minutes, we can go add more load to this if we want, only as long as the generator can handle it though. So if you were to turn up the charging, it would overload the generator. You can see we're already at 85, maybe 90% until it's up there. But we would have more power if we were running on gasoline. Now one thing I would like is quicker updating on the app. It's not bad, but let me show you something here. We're going to turn our converter on, and honestly you should have this off when using power stations and just charge your batteries with solar. But boom, pop that on, and now look at the difference. So output 1,400, this will change in a second, and we'll wait for that. There it goes. So now 2,100 watts are going out, and the generator had to bump up to 3,000 watts. So now the generator is working pretty hard, but we're still charging the unit. I'm going to press my fast charge button right here real quick. Some of you may have this, some of you may not. So boom, press that. Now I'm going to be charging, instead of like 300 watts, maybe 800 or 900 watts. And now we'll go back out to the generator. Okay, so now just to clarify, the generator is putting out about 2,900 watts. And 2,100 watts of that is going to the trailer, and the rest of it is being used to charge the unit. So again, if you're going to have a generator do this, you have to make sure that the generator can actually provide that amount of power. Now, if you are going to use the 15 amp charging cable, this again is only going to be limited to 15 amps or whatever the generator you're using. So if I plug it into that 15 or 20 amp outlet, if you overload it, well, that's going to pop the breaker anyway. So you're not going to be able to pull much more than this can handle at 1800 watts. And just to quickly show you, I am now maxing out the generator. So the generator is putting out about 3,350 watts, give or take, almost 3,400, and 21 is still going to the trailer. And you can see the red overload light is on, so the generator won't live here. Eventually it'll shut off. So we'll go from 30%, we'll drop down to 20% charging on the unit. That's all that we're changing. So now 3,300 watts coming down to about 3,200 watts. 2,200 watts still going to the trailer. And now look at the generator. It can now live here, but even at high temperatures it may shut down because the AC unit is actually not drawing that much at the moment. So now you can see that this is really the first power station, even Bluetti, EcoFlow, nobody can do what this one does. It's in a smaller portable power station like this. Pecron is really listening to testers like us, also customer feedback, to kind of build things that we want. Plus, the extra battery is not just a brick. You can utilize this all on its own. The battery has its own solar input, has DC out as well, and you can build over a 15 kilowatt hour system with 4 of these batteries for under $6,000. It's hard enough to DIY something like that is all ready to go and not a bunch of wires and a clean setup like this. So they've really packed a lot of features into a pretty acceptable price if you think about it. Now that price is only at launch, so this is $15.99 at launch, plus I have a discount code which makes it even cheaper, but then this will go up later. So if you're interested, check the links down below. But so hopefully this information helped you out. There's a link down below called Ask Me if you have any questions.